All right, let's jump right into it. Lesson 350. Before we jump into it, today is the 25th of August. It's been probably 2 weeks since I've done this. It's just the last two weekends have been very busy. But yeah, I guess you guys are I'll be releasing these much more closer to the actual release date. So yeah, lesson 350. I've been reading this book called Arabian Sands by Wilfred Dissinger, and I've been so inspired by his travels with the Bedou tribe and just sort of seeing the ability to travel through the empty quarter, the desert, without any guarantee of water, grazing, food running out. This is a whole nother level of faith, and it puts me at ease for the challenge I'm going through, where I'm literally going through day to day with no money. Like I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm trying to have to like scrape money just to make the credit card payment 2, 3 days ago. I'm trying to scrape another 3, 4 grand to somehow make payroll the end of the month. And like, yeah, I'm just sort of going with the flow. And unlike the Bedou tribe going through a desert, I always have something to fall back on. I always have things I could sell. I always have cash that my mom and sisters owe me that I can pull back on. I always have funds held in, I could always sell my cryptocurrency. So I always have these backups. Well, I guess the Bedou tribe, their backup is like killing one of the camels and eating the camel, I guess. That's their backup. Um, but yeah, it's just a whole nother level of faith and conviction that I'm learning um, to embrace and take on. Lesson 351. The Bedou are so freaking cool. Like the fact that they will urge their guests to drink the last of their milk, you know, the only dinner, where they'll literally be starving that night. But it's sort of part of their culture when a guest comes, you serve them coffee, serve them dinner, even if that's all you have. Like that's and it's sort of this giving. It's like, yeah, which is pretty crazy. How giving and selfless they are. So freaking cool. Like that mentality of like, hey, if you're coming by, I'm gonna put things aside and really give you dinner, give you coffee, give you, yeah, food, even if it means I'm gonna have to starve tonight. Very gentleman-like, very manly, very, yeah, respectable. Lesson 352. If the goal is to reach enlightenment, that means I need to get a point where I'm fully content with the present now. Therefore, I should stop reaching out to people because that comes from a place of discontent with the now, wanting to distract myself with a fun conversation. So I think that's why I created this thing called the Enlightenment Protocol. Basically, a bunch of rules I'm going to be following, little things like don't call people, don't pick up phone calls unless it's from a mentor or from a very close friend. Wait until you smash out a day to reply to everyone. Stack up replies on a note and then batch send them out. Make sure each message that you send is meaningful and has meaning and isn't small talk. So these are the little things I'm putting into the enlightenment protocol. And it's basically um, give me a sort of a Bible to follow so that I can be content on my own and be on my own when needed. For example, if I've had a long day and I couldn't, finish my work because I was just exhausted, that means I should not, like, because I haven't finished my work, I can't get to replying to all the people that are messaging me. And that's a rule I put in, and it makes sense because one, they're gonna get the worst version of me, and two, it just shows that I need time on my own, and I need time to rest and recharge, and I don't have that surplus of energy to give. Lesson 353. 3. 53. Something I've been noticing is that I've been comparing my friends, guy friends, girls, or I've been comparing girls based on who they're dating. So if I have like a high valued friend and then dating a girl that I feel like they can definitely do better, I'm gonna judge that girl and be like, yo, like you can do better. But if that same girl was dating another friend that was in a similar level of value, I'm not going to say anything about it. It's like it's a perfect match. I have nothing to say about that same girl. So I noticed that I'm not comparing or judging girls specifically, but I'm comparing or judging them in comparison to one of my friends that they would be dating. And if there's a if my friend if I think my friend can do better, then I'm gonna tell him why I think that girl isn't sort of keeping up to his standards. So that's something I noticed that like, wow, I'm not judging people for who they are, but I'm judging them in comparison to my friend that they're dating. Lesson 354. Last night, well, I guess this was maybe 2 weeks ago, I called two different friends. I wanted to chat, and both of them did not pick up my FaceTime. I think that's the universe nudging me to learn to love myself, be on my own, and learn to be content with the now and sort of push towards enlightenment. Because when you do reach enlightenment, the need and the seek for others disappears. So I think that's what I've been really, really focused on. Lesson 355. I've I was trying to figure out why I peg my downness, my exhaustion, my sadness to, say, a friend not picking up my phone call. And I realized that it was very similar to me banging my hand on the table when I couldn't get a math question correct when I was younger, um, hurting myself. And looking back, what I was basically doing was the frustration, the hate, the anger I had for myself for not being able to get that math question, the disappointment I had for myself, that pain was so much more painful than me slapping my hand on the table and feeling that physical pain. That physical pain was much less, and it was a way to distract me from the real pain. So I found myself, and I find myself now always, rather than sitting in just the pain, the exhaustion, the whatever I'm feeling, I find myself subconsciously pegging my anger or frustration towards something else that if I was in a good state, I wouldn't even be bothered by. So I think that self-awareness has been very, very helpful for me. Lesson 356. Live like the Arabian Bedou tribe. Do not seek out for people. Go through your day to day independently. And if by chance you come across people, friends, family, treat them as amazing guests that God has brought you. Convince them that convince them that they have done you kindness by popping into their life and spending time with them. Get to a point of zero outreach where in the sort of serendipitous occasions where someone drops by, you can give them your all, drop everything when people inbound comes in. Yeah. Lesson 357. I want to start a new tradition where whenever someone hits me up, messages me, they want to catch up, I want to invite them over for tea and chit chat. Like I feel like one, you save money, because you don't have to go out and eat. Two, it's more efficient because now they're coming to my place. Three, you actually get more chit chat time because you're not waiting, ordering, that you're not distracted. Four, it's a more comfortable, intimate setting. Five, you can go deeper. Um, Six is more efficient time-wise because rather than doing a 2 hour, like an hour and a half dinner plus an hour to travel back and forth, to spending 2.5 hours for maybe only 40 minutes worth of chat time, whereas you can just invite them over to my place and knock out that 40-minute chat time in 40 minutes. Those are the reasons why I'm gonna start inviting people over to drink tea and chit chat. Lesson 358. When catching up with people similar to the Better tribe, you want to ask for the news, the latest information about mutual friends, movements, opportunities, lessons. The Better tribe, every time they meet up, since like their news network, how they get the news and stay updated, because obviously there's no radios or Wi-Fi or laptops or phones, is that every time the Better tribe members would meet each other, they'll exchange news. So that's how news travels throughout the desert. And I've taken that, and now I intentionally, when I catch up with peers, and I'm like, give me the news. What's the update? Like, have you met any people, or have you bumped into any people that I might know, any mutuals we have? Like, update me, give me the news. Um, yeah. Lesson 359. You go through phases with friends. There are periods where you are hanging out a ton with a certain friend. Trying to rephrase this. Let me redo lesson 359 after a quick break. I'm a bit tired. So let me retry that. Lesson 359. You'll go through phases with friends. There'll be periods where you're hanging out a ton, and other periods where you just can't seem to catch up, and this is normal. So you want to spend time with people who want to spend time with you at that present moment, and trust that others that you want to spend more time with will come around, as the current friends will eventually start dissing themselves. It goes through ebbs and flows. And that's pretty normal. People who stay will stay, and people who just fade away forever will fade away forever. And that's life, naturally, um, finding people that align with your wavelength as you grow. Lesson 360. After I told a friend that, I was going broke and I was out of money, she told me that maybe I need to do something different. But with all my experience, I know I'm on the right path and I just need to be patient. Great metaphor is like running. Like if my goal is a 5 minute pace for 5 kilometers and I've recently plateaued, being stuck at, I can only do a 5 minute pace for up to 3 kilometers for the last for the last month. But I know I'm really happy with the current routine of short runs, long 10-kilometer runs, short 3 kilometer barefoot runs, taking one day off, taking 2 days running. Now I think I just need time and repetition to break this plateau. I think she might have a point because I've recently integrated interval training into my routine, and I do find that has been um, very beneficial. Um, So I guess I did have to make a change, ironically, to make the to break, or like this is my attempt to break the plateau. So I guess with my business, like what can I change? Not really anything. Well, like I am on the right path, but every day I'm making small improvements. I think that's what it is. Like me adding in interval training isn't me doing something different. It's me adding an extra thing to my current routine. So I guess with my business, if I want to break this sort of making no money situation, I just need to continually make small adjustments day in, day out, make small improvements. And after 1 year, my process is gonna look completely different. So I think that's all I can do. And I don't need to change and do something different. Lesson 361. If I look at the close girlfriends I have, friends that are girls, I usually have a really, really good first interaction. Then there's like a distance period on their part for like 3 to 6 months. And then I may hit them up and we will start getting really close again afterwards. My theory is that, I don't know, usually me being me, I'm a really nice, kind person. Um, and I just sort of give. And I don't know if that's sort of overwhelming or like throws them off. But after that is now absent in their life for 3 to 6 months, and they see like, hey, like this is sucky that I'm not getting this anymore. Um, and then in like 6 months' time, when I somehow just randomly pop back into their life, um, they're like, okay, like this is pretty cool. I want to maintain and keep this going. That's my current hypothesis. I might be wrong. Lesson 362. I heard that someone said on a podcast that things that happen to you at a young age have a strong foundational effect on you. Like I realized that when I grew up in a setting where I wasn't loved, um, both my parents were just busy trying to make ends meet. I was definitely ostracized in high school. Um, I think I subconsciously took this on. Like, and in doing so, me subconsciously thinking that I didn't deserve love also made it hard for others to love me. If you grew up cool, surrounded by love, people loving you is normal. It makes it easy for you to attract love. Whereas if you subconsciously think that you do not deserve love, people will subconsciously not love you. It's very subtle. Great metaphors, the Olympian that constantly beats the world record when training at home alone. Like at home, training in the gym locally, they're so good. They're constantly like they hold the world record, I guess, in an unofficial setting. But the moment that this Olympian is at the Olympic, he buckles and falters. He's he literally has the best in him, but there's this hard mental block. So bring it back to me. I might be the most lovable person ever. But the fact that I have this mental subconscious block making me think I don't deserve love when I go out, making me think I don't deserve love. When I go out, I'm not gonna get love. Um, Example. If I believe I don't deserve to be invited to things, people without knowing are going to subconsciously not invite me to things. But playing devil's advocate, on the other hand, I think this has served as a great filter for me to only attract people with high enough EQ who can see past my subconscious worries and see the lovable person inside me. Um, but yeah, I was really, really happy and surprised how this breakthrough uh, happen. Like it was tying things I heard from a podcast, my recent chat with my friend Anthony, sharing about how he deserved that I didn't get what I deserved in high school. Me being thoroughly surprised when Bonnie invited me to run club and trying to understand why I was surprised. Yeah, all these things added up to this awesome realization. Lesson 363. I just realized that learning to be worthy of being loved, learning to believe that you deserve to be loved is a whole nother beast compared to the already challenging battle of just learning to love yourself. People who are used to being loved more have a completely different air to those who are not used to being loved. And people can subconsciously sense it. it's hard for me to realize this because I just sort of see the special in everyone. So I don't really sort of like if they're shy or they're nervous, I see past that. Whereas normal people would just read people based on the subconscious feel. I need to go from, ABC didn't like me because I suck and ABC doesn't care about me to like, ABC is probably just busy and just missed my message. So not only change what I tell myself, but also really, really believe this. Now, obviously, it's harder said than done, but I think this subtle change will greatly improve my subconscious aura. And I think people can smell or subconsciously sense this. But I think it also maybe stemmed from the fact that, I have high standards for others. Like I was born with high standards where I'm often treating people how I want to be treated. And if they don't reciprocate that, I often instantly think they don't like me. Um, yeah. Like for example, I try to reply to everyone. So therefore, if someone doesn't reply to me, I think they forgot about me, they don't care about me. Another thing is I remember everything, whereas people will often forget things. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, they didn't think, I think they didn't care enough about me to listen and remember. I used to say yes to everything. So I thought when people didn't say yes to me, they didn't want to, I thought they didn't want to spend time with me, but they might have just been busy, not realizing that and then I guess I wasn't realizing or I didn't see that all these things are just normal for people in general, given I'm so far from the normal with my high standards for myself and for others. Lesson 364. There are soft skills and there are hard skills. Ironically, the soft skills play a way larger impact. The hard skills are things such as charisma, communication, asking questions, reading the room, having tact, being confident, and being kind, having empathy. Whereas the soft skills is just simply believing, why wouldn't anyone like me? The soft skills is so impactful to a point where you often see many like mean, egotistical people that are surrounded and liked by people just through the sheer belief on why that wouldn't be the case. Like a great parallel, someone like, say, Pete Davidson, who truly believes, like, why can't I date a supermodel? And that mindset and that belief is so strong and it's strong enough to compensate for any hard skills he may lack. Like if he's not fit, he doesn't look good, or he doesn't have personal care or kindness or empathy. The soft skills of just the belief itself, um, yeah, is just way better than the hard skills. And the more supermodels he dates, the stronger his subconscious belief gets reaffirmed, and it creates this flywheel effect. Similarly, the few amazing people that enjoy my presence has unlocked the confidence for me and helped me come up with this breakthrough of like, why wouldn't like I have amazing people that want to spend time with me? Why wouldn't anyone want to spend time with me? And I think this soft skill is going to further compound and grow. Lesson 365. I couldn't understand how someone would want to hang out, organize one-on-ones, laugh and think I'm funny, think I'm attractive, see the kind of person I am, be inspired by me, be interested to chat daily, but have zero feelings. Um, but like I'm starting to understand it. Like I guess a metaphor would be like, let's say someone like Kylie Jenner. Kylie Jenner is someone that I definitely, I don't know, like let's say she was my friend. Um, I could say all those things. I could think Kylie Jenner is really inspirational, very attractive, very cool, very kind, very considerate, and have zero feelings for her. And I think that's a great metaphor because now I'm able to put myself in other people's shoes. So it showed me that with a great level of self-awareness and clarity on what you want, you can therefore then be a super duper caring person, think a person is amazing, want to spend time with the person and have zero feelings and just want to be friends and just really enjoy spending time with them. Lesson 366. A friend showed me that there's a clear difference between care, wanting to hang with someone, being inspired by someone versus feelings and, loving someone. Now I sort of understand what I was trying to tell my friends. Like, this is a friend that I really care about. I really want to spend time with. Um, and it's, because it's reciprocated. And I think a great like example would be if you watch How I Met Your Mother, Ted Mosby and Lily. They're like best friends. They love each other. They care for each other, but there's zero feelings there. Or like zero, like it's love, but not like the sort of marriage type love. Lesson 367. Girls with high EQ clearly know the difference from someone they're attracted to. Wait, let me rephrase that. Clearly know the difference from when they think someone's attractive, someone that they like spending time with, someone they care for, someone they like chatting to having feelings and wanting to settle down and marry that person. And I think as I'm starting to get more conviction on what I'm looking for, now I think I can be. Yeah, okay, let me rephrase. Now that I have a strong conviction on what I'm looking for, I'm now able to find someone attractive, someone that I really enjoy spending time with, someone that I think is really smart and funny, and also have zero feelings. So that's what I've been learning. And I think these relationships are really awesome because I have so much fun, and there isn't that urge to force something. Whereas previously, I might have forced it out of the circumstance. Whereas now I'm like, hey, like I know exactly what I'm looking for. This may not be that. It's probably not that. But I really, really just enjoy our time together. Lesson 368. People want things not for the thing itself, but for the feeling it gives them from getting that thing. So let's say I want a girl to reply to my message, but it's not that thing that I want. I want that bubbly feeling from getting that reply. You know, I want that feeling of like, oh wow, like I feel seen. Another example, like I want to have money so I can feel secure and relieve that, hey, I know my team will be safe. Like that's why I want money for the feeling of securedness. Like a reason I want a soulmate, not for the soulmate, but I want the feeling of being seen by someone that fully sees me and loves and accepts me and sees the whole picture. And all these feelings can be generated without having the actual thing. Like, let's say for the soulmate example, I can close my eyes and just imagine a scenario where this imaginary soulmate, like, is complimenting me and just in awe. And hopefully I've been reciprocating it of like the amazing person I am. And I'm feeling that feeling right now. So you can imagine having the feelings that you get from everything that you ever want or the things you want. Therefore, everything you want is already inside you. So, yeah, that is lesson 368. That's it for this episode. Peace.